This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Good Tuesday morning. Time now is 4:27. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrick.
And I'm Rafael Sanchez. Welcome on this Tuesday morning.
Tonight, a stay-at-home order will go into effect in Indiana to help stop the spread of COVID-19.
The governor making the call to all Hoosiers as the number of coronavirus cases in our state continues to rise. The stay-at-home order goes into effect at 11:59 tonight and runs all the way through April the 7th. The governor says following the order, in his words, is very critical. Now, neighboring states, Ohio, Illinois, and Michigan already have a stay-at-home policy in effect right now.
And an update to a story we first brought you yesterday. First responders with a doctor's order will now be eligible for testing through Eli Lilly and Company. The pharmaceutical giant is now expanding its efforts in central Indiana. On Monday, it began offering a free drive-through testing program for healthcare workers. That includes physicians, nurses, pharmacists, and allied healthcare professionals.
And Meredith, as you know, this is a time of creativity and innovation as people look for new ways to live and follow the rules in what we now call the new normal because of COVID-19.
Yeah, our Alyssa Donovan is working on a story with Shauna Williams. Williams is having to make a pivot and change her business, which provides face painting and balloon animals for events that now won't be happening for several weeks. Alyssa is going to show us the unique way this businesswoman is helping families mark birthdays during this time in a fun and safe way, of course. We've got her story coming up here on Good Morning Indiana. So nice to see positive things happening during this time where so many are concerned and uncertain about our future.
We're seeing a lot of folks working together, really being creative, finding ways to make those human connections without endangering people. This is one of those great stories. We'll have that coming up this morning at 5 a.m.
We do want to check in with our meteorologist, Todd Clausen here. Todd, yesterday wasn't too terrible. Thankfully, there wasn't much wind out there, so you could get outside. Just had to bundle up a bit. What can we expect for our day today?
You know, more of the same, except today's actually going to be a few degrees warmer than it was yesterday, and probably a little better chance, at least the first half of the day today, to see a little more sunshine compared to yesterday. Yesterday, we never really got rid of the cloud cover that was across the area. Temperatures right now, they sit in the 30s and 40s across the area, so you will have to bundle up a little bit as you walk out the door here this morning, but eventually up into the low 50s, which is pretty close to average temperatures for this time of year. Warmer temperatures work in. Skies will be mostly cloudy, and rain returns to the forecast late in the day today. Looks like those rain showers will be very light. We'll talk more about the timing and where I think you'll see most of that rain across central Indiana coming up in your full Storm Team 6 forecast.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Additionally, I've signed another executive order that calls on all Hoosiers to hunker down.
Now at 4:30 on Good Morning Indiana, Governor Holcomb issuing a stay-at-home order for all Indiana residents. We're breaking down what this means for businesses and for you and your family.
Plus, Eli Lilly expanding their drive-through testing for COVID-19. Details on who is now eligible for this critical service.
And a group of high school students helping fill a big need to see how they stepped up to make sure our healthcare workers on the front lines are protected. 4:30 on your Tuesday morning. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrick.
I'm Rafael Sanchez. It's going to be another great day in central Indiana. As you know, my snowblower is still on standby, but I've given up on that, Todd. I've given up on that. I know, but it's still stuck. Hey, Todd, what's going on today?
You know, you remember, I think it was like 2-3 years ago, we got our biggest snow at the end of March. So, I mean, but I do not see that happening. I do not see that happening. We actually are going to start to moderate these temperatures as we go throughout the next few days, as we take on more of a spring-like pattern. With that said, as you walk out the door this morning, temperatures are on the chilly side. 38 in Indy right now, 37 in Bloomington, 36 in Tipton, and Richmond at 36 degrees as well. But we're all above freezing. That is the good news. And we are dry this morning. We're dry for a good chunk of the day today. You notice that there are some clouds here that are off to our west, and we're going to kind of be between partly to mostly cloudy skies today once the sun comes up a little after 8 o'clock, and we'll be able to see some sunshine today. That's the good news. We also have this little band of rain off to our west. This is going to slide in as well. So some of you will have to deal with some scattered showers throughout the day today. They're all going to be very, very light. That is the good news. They're mainly going to be south of Indianapolis. But if you do live in places like Bloomington, over towards Franklin, Columbus, Seymour, Shelbyville, you may see a few scattered showers here this afternoon. Otherwise, temperatures will get closer to normal today. We'll go from 36 degrees at 8 a.m. and with that added sunshine today, up to 46 degrees by the time we get to the noon hour. And then as the clouds thicken this afternoon, we'll kind of cap our temperatures from warming much more throughout the afternoon hours as we get up to a high temperature that'll be right around 53 degrees.
Stay at home. Unless you're going out on an essential errand or essential work or essential business.
Governor Holcomb calling on all Hoosiers to do their part to slow down the spread of COVID-19 in our state. So from tonight at 11:59 all the way through April the 7th, all Hoosiers are ordered to stay at home, meaning you should only leave your home for food, medical attention, to help others, or if your job is considered an essential service. Under this order, you'll still be able to go out for walks or exercise outside, and parks will still remain open. The governor's order is similar to ones already in place in the states of Ohio, Michigan, and Illinois. He said these are steps Indiana needs to take to contain the virus. And he says he's confident that if everyone does their part, we will all get through this.
The next 2 weeks are critical. That's March 24th through April 7th, if we're going to slow the spread. This disease is killing people. Time is of the essence. And the best thing we can do for each other, for this generation and the next, and for our economy, is to get a handle on the virus by slowing the spread.
So let's look deeper into this issue. What is considered an essential business? It's places including hospitals and healthcare centers, grocery stores, pharmacies, gas stations, daycare centers, shelters, laundry service providers, public transit, and public service hotlines. Now, business owners are certain to have many questions today about how this impacts their company. So, starting at 9 this morning, there will be a way to get those questions answered. The Critical Industries Hotline will help businesses and industries comply with the governor's executive order. Now, this center is reachable by calling 877-820-0890 or by emailing covidresponse@iedc.gov. The hotline is for business and industry questions only. You can find more information about this and the governor's entire order on the RTV6 app, as well as our website, theindychannel.com.
Community Health Network President and CEO Brian Mills has tested positive for COVID-19. Both he and the Health Network announced the news on Twitter Monday. The hospital system says Mills was symptomatic and was tested before learning of his diagnosis over the weekend. Mills is now self-quarantining but will remain active in his duties and lead community's pandemic response. Right now, the Indiana Department of Health is reporting 259 positive cases of COVID-19 in our state. 1,960 people have been tested and 7 Hoosiers have died. Those numbers are expected to increase as testing becomes more available. Speaking of testing, Eli Lilly is expanding its drive-through testing services. Starting today, first responders will now be able to get tested for coronavirus with a doctor's order. Lilly began a free drive-through testing program for healthcare workers working on the front lines of the outbreak Monday. That includes physicians, nurses, pharmacists, and allied healthcare professionals. These are challenging times for hospitals and medical staff. That's why representatives at IU Health say they're grateful for people and companies offering to donate supplies to workers caring for Hoosiers across the state. We spoke to an IU Health spokesperson to find out what items they need. He says cotton masks sewed by volunteers would be used only as a last resort. He also shared this list of items they could use immediately. It includes respiratory masks, facial and eye protection, general personal protective equipment, hand sanitizer with 70% alcohol content, and disinfectants. If you would like to donate, you can send an email to the address you see on your screen. You can also find this contact information at theindychannel.com.
The time now is 4:36 and people are working together through this crisis, and it's an amazing thing to see. You see, the CNA program at Crispus Attucks High School gathered supplies to donate to Eskenazi Health. According to IPS, the program was able to give 35 safety glasses, 750 pairs of gloves, 500 masks, and 80 pairs of shoes. The district shared these photos of the donated items on its Facebook page with a message saying, in part, to all medical professionals and staff, thank you for your tireless work and sacrifice.
RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers is on the ground to connect you with companies that are still hiring despite the ripple effects of COVID-19. That includes the Indianapolis Fire Department. It's hiring right now for firefighters. The salary in your first year is $51,000 and climbs to more than $70,000 by the third year. If you think you know someone or you would like to be on this first response team, we've listed all the details for applying in this story on our website. We are actively tracking which places around central Indiana are still hiring right now. That's on our homepage, theindychannel.com. And for a broader look at available jobs today and every day, you can head to hiringhoosiers.com.
With more businesses closing and Indy residents practicing social distancing, the streets, as you know, are almost empty in downtown Indianapolis and through main streets around our state. Our TV6 photojournalist Brad Forrestal shows you there are still some familiar faces out there keeping an eye on things and waiting for your return. We are looking for your return, a return to normalcy. But first, lawmakers on Capitol Hill are still working to hammer out a stimulus package to help Americans affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Straight ahead, where negotiations stand today and when a deal could possibly be reached.
And with many businesses shutting down in the Hoosier State, we're working for you, finding out what steps you need to take to protect your financial health. After the break, hear the advice from a local economic expert. Todd.
And it's dry right now across central Indiana, but some rain once again is in the forecast. This rain that you see in Arkansas, it's going to be heading in our direction as we work our way throughout the afternoon and evening hours. We'll talk about the timing and some rainfall amounts in your neighborhoods coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. The time now is 4:40. Stay with us. We're back in just a few minutes.
Hiring Hoosiers only on RTV6.
We're following breaking news this morning. Metro Police investigating a shooting on Indy's south side. This all happened in the 800 block of Lawrence Avenue just after 3 this morning. Officers on scene say 2 people were home when someone tried to enter the rear of the house. The homeowner then fired shots at the intruder. That person was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Detectives are still working to learn more.
There are more than 42,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in our country. But as you know, the disease disease is affecting tens of millions of people. At least for now. In the near future, the situation is likely to continue. John Lawrence has much more.
A grim milestone for the United States. The U.S. suffered at least 100 coronavirus-related deaths in a single day for the first time.
As always, these families, these lost souls are in our prayers. God bless each and every one of them.
The World Health Organization confirms more than 330,000 COVID-19 patients worldwide, and the pandemic isn't showing signs of slowing down.
Just 4 days for the third 100,000 cases.
That's led some U.S. officials to close some businesses, schools, and place restrictions on people leaving the house.
We're going to shut down all state parking lots, and that will go into effective immediately.
Additional states, including Hawaii, Indiana, and West Virginia, have joined the more than dozen that already have stay-at-home orders. Despite that, President Trump indicated he'll consider relaxing the social distancing guidelines within the next couple of weeks.
This is not a country that was built for this. It was not built to be shut down.
As for the economic stimulus plan for the coronavirus,
the Senate Republican bill put corporations first.
Democratic and Republican leaders are locked in a partisan battle.
This is not a juicy political opportunity. This is a national emergency.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Staying on Capitol Hill, House Democrats working on their own coronavirus response legislation, which is adding pressure on the Senate to reach an agreement. The third Senate vote on this matter could come sometime today.
RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers works to connect you to job opportunities and training. But we know right now many Hoosiers are uncertain about their employment due to layoffs from COVID-19. We spoke with an economics expert at Ball State who just released a study showing the unemployment rate will exceed 10% within 45 days, both nationally and in Indiana. To put that into perspective, Indiana's unemployment rate in January, the most recent number we have, was 3.1%. That's the lowest in about 20 years. Governor Holcomb said Monday that just last week there were 54,000 claims for unemployment. We asked Ball State University expert what we should be doing during this time.
If you're facing financial troubles, call the bank. Say, look, I can't make my mortgage payment this month because I've got 2 kids at home. I had to quit my job. I think you'll find banks very likely to extend your mortgage to grant you a 1-month grace period or 2-month grace period on that mortgage. And if you have enough money, I would say support your local businesses. Go buy your wife some flowers. Splurge for a carried out from that restaurant that you would normally dine in at.
Hicks believes if steps are taken to protect ordinary Americans and businesses, like a stimulus plan and a grace period from bankruptcies, the recovery should be swift and robust. He also says if we can get through the next 60 to 90 days using those measures, he believes businesses can reopen.
The time now is 4:47. Let's take you across the pond. The UK's famous subway system is nearly empty after Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced a strict new stay-at-home order. It's the most strict seen in Britain since the end of World War II. People are only allowed to leave their homes to shop for necessities, do one form of exercise a day, provide medical services, or perform essential work. Unlike many of the stay-at-home orders in the United States, British police have been ordered to enforce the rules, breaking up public gatherings and imposing fines on people caught violating the new regulations. The UK death toll increased by almost 50 in the last day, totaling 335 people. The rate mirrors what happened in Italy just 2 weeks ago. The International Olympic Committee seems to have made a decision on the 2020 Games. One IOC board member saying that the games that were scheduled to start in July will now be postponed. As to the date of that, still being worked on. The board member says other details will also be worked out over the next 4 weeks. Now, in response to the news, President Trump tweeting this in part, "We will be guided by the wishes of Prime Minister Abe of Japan, a great friend of the United States. He will make the proper decision. The time now is 4:48. Let's check on your forecast with our very own Todd Clausen. Good morning, TK.
Raphael, good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. Nice and quiet this morning here across central Indiana as we're just dealing with partly to mostly cloudy skies and temperatures. Yeah, they're a little on the cool side once again, but you have to remember this is still the middle to end of March, and we can get this cool this time of year. 38 degrees, that's the current temperature. You notice the winds a little different than they were yesterday. Yesterday we had those northwesterly winds. The winds this morning now are out of the east-northeast, and eventually they're going to start to go more southerly in the coming days, and that's going to make all the difference in the temperature department as it's going to help to bring some warmer temperatures back up into the forecast. 37 right now in Bloomington, 40 in Lafayette, 40 as well in Muncie, and we're at 36 degrees currently in Martinsville. But here's the warmer air that is just down to our south. 48 degrees right now in Nashville, 50s as you work your way from Springfield, Missouri down towards Little Rock. And again, as our winds turn southerly, that's the air that's going to be in our area later on this afternoon, and then we'll continue to warm in the coming days. You see some radar returns just to the west of Terre Haute. That is not reaching the ground. Skies are partly to mostly cloudy right now across central Indiana, but it's really the rain that's a little further off to the west that you have to pay attention to. Wichita down here towards the Memphis area. This is what's all going to start to lift to the north, bringing the scattered showers back into our forecast. So throughout the daytime hours today, I think you're in pretty good shape with partly to mostly cloudy skies throughout the morning hours. And then the clouds, they'll start to thicken up as the day goes on. But I really don't think showers enter the forecast until late this afternoon, or more so, I probably should say earlier in the evening. And most of these showers will generally be south of Indianapolis. A few may clip the city, but the further north you are, pretty much going to have a dry day for you. And then these rain showers will move out during the overnight hours, and that'll set us up for what should be a decent day tomorrow. Temperatures today with the clouds building in. Once we get into the 50s, we'll kind of cap our temperatures right around 53 degrees. But as you look at your 7-day planning forecast, we're into the 60s tomorrow with decreasing clouds. Then we get into an unsettled weather pattern once again with numerous opportunities for some rainfall. But look at those high temperatures while the rainfall is in place. We'll be seeing highs in the mid to upper 60s.
Todd, thank you. We're taking a live look I-65 at Washington Street. A few cars and trucks out there this morning. We are seeing a lot of semis working hard this week, making sure necessary items are getting to all of us. We want to thank those truck drivers out there working long hours. Otherwise, no issues to report on the roadways.
So at 4:51, you have to see this. What's happening right here. Hospitals across the nation, as you know, are facing some serious shortages right now when it comes to protective gear. But one group from Montana has the idea that may help. A neurosurgeon, a dentist, and his son were able to design a reusable surgical mask with a 3D printer. The mask is made out of plastic, so it can be wiped down for quick and easy cleaning. It also has a filter that can be replaced to make it safe for a healthcare provider to breathe into. The group says the masks take about 2 hours to print and only cost $1 to make. I'm telling you, innovation in this era, what a great idea. Wow.
Tito's Vodka finally getting into the hand sanitizer game. The vodka company initially shot down rumors that its alcohol could be used to make the highly sought after item. In a tweet this week, Tito's said it would be shifting production to make 24 tons of hand sanitizer. It will not be using its vodka, which is only 40% alcohol. The Texas-based business says instead it will make a product that adheres to industry and governmental guidance. They also advise customers to not use their vodka as a way to keep your hands clean. Ooh, that'd be a strong smell.
Yes. Okay, so a New York couple threw, Meredith, the perfect, I mean, this is so awesome, the perfect social distancing wedding in the streets of Manhattan. See how their friends made it happen? Coming up.
Educators across Indiana have been adjusting to teaching remotely as schools are closed due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. Coming up at 5, we're taking a look at how one local teacher is adjusting to this new normal. It's 4:53. We'll be right back. Fuel are proud supporters of local literacy. It's a love story that will remind everyone that even in these uncertain times, love conquers all. A New York couple held the perfect social distancing wedding. Riley Jennings and Amanda Wheeler tied the knot Friday. Instead of gathering hundreds of family members and friends, they married on the streets of Manhattan, just the two of them. A friend of the couple officiated from his 4th floor window, and everyone now can attend via the video that has now gone viral.
Okay.
Congratulations to them. Unfortunately, I don't think they'll be jetting off on a honeymoon anytime soon, but now they'll have that to look forward to.
Party and the honeymoon at a later date.
Exactly. Exactly. A lot of adjusting by newlyweds.
Nothing wrong with that. All right, 53 today with mostly cloudy skies. The best bet for sunshine today in the morning. Then into the 60s starting tomorrow. Best chance of rain returning to the area will be on Thursday. Time now is 4:58. We're back in just a few minutes.